feel like the hardest part about dating as a single mom is that I have kids and I don't want no more. And then I also don't want to date a baby dad.
I thought mom guilt was when you drop the kids off at grandma's house on Saturday to go party and you feel guilty that you're leaving them to go have fun.
A lot of these guys without kids want to have a kid. You see what the problem is? Am I really gonna sacrifice my body, my time, my everything again for another man to satisfy his needs again? You really have to be worthy of me.
No. Mom guilt is everything. Mom guilt is having a hard day and feeling guilty that you're frustrated.
For that, because I already f***ed up once and I gave someone that isn't. I share kids with somebody already. I don't want no more kids. I'm so happy with my kids.
Mom guilt is wishing the time away and then wishing that they were small again.
They don't have kids and they would like to have a kid of their own. I'm just like, well, like, should I continue to talk to you or not? Because I don't know if I'm gonna get there. I just don't know if I'm gonna get there. I'm sorry.
Mom guilt is wanting a different life for you and your baby and then feeling guilty for working.
Don't come for me about like you're a baby mama and you don't want to date a baby daddy. Like, who cares?
Mom guilt is dealing with the situation in the moment the best that you can and then realizing later that you could have done a lot better.
So like, how serious can this get? Because I have trust issues.
Blinded by the light, revved up like a dude. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I have a few clips we're going to be going over today. Also have some dating advice toward the end that I'm going to attach onto a story we're going to read together. So stay tuned for the dating advice. There will be dating advice at the end of this episode if you would just stick around for that. Also, please like the video. We're going to go ahead and get it started. As always, hit that like button. That would be amazing for you to do that. Also, hit the subscribe button down there below me. If you would hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate that as well. I am on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. Help me get there before the end of the year. That would be amazing. And hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's get into it.
Sometimes being a single mom makes me feel completely robbed of my motherhood experience. Like, I just know. I know deep in my bones that if I had more support, I could show up better. I know I would be more patient. I would have so much more time to just like pour into myself and be a better mom and also pour into my son. But being a single parent or an only parent means that you're literally doing everything on your own. You carry 100% of the burden. And sometimes I wonder who I would be if I had more support. During my pregnancy, especially when Adrian was younger, and especially now. And then you wonder like how your kid's gonna remember you. And usually when you have two healthy parents, someone can just step in when the other one's having a mental breakdown or they need space, and you don't get that when you're a single parent.
Stop it. Get some help.
I just want to go ahead and point out some of the wording she's using in this video. Now, all of you know my opinions on single moms. I'm not going to try to hide that. I've never hit it. I think it's just the probably one of the worst things we can have in a society and in a modern civilization is a bunch of single moms going around ruining kids' lives and traumatizing them and inviting men into their life as well and traumatizing those men. It's just a very vicious cycle of trauma and hurt and pain, and it is unnecessary. It is unnecessary if these women were to go ahead and just vet some of these men that they allow into their beds, if they would possibly keep their legs closed until they're married, until they have something that they can, you know, look back on and say, you know what, maybe it's time for me to start a family or whatever, you know. But they don't do this, do they? And then they're wondering, well, I can't be there for my kid because I'm always stressing. They're constantly stressing about just paying bills, just doing whatever they need to do. Something very interesting in the first part of this clip, she said, single mothers, and then she said another term, which is what I'm finding on TikTok a lot, called only parent. What was it? Only parent, single parent, and then she said only parents. A lot of these women are going ahead and getting into relationships with men that they know what single moms are for. Okay, they're not trying to be a stepdad. They're not trying to be with the kids. So, realistically, they can't use the term single parent because they're not single, they're taken. But now they're using the term only parent because they are the only parent to this kid. The other guy is just shacking up with her, busting it down and heading back home and playing Xbox. Let's continue.
Mental breakdown, or they need space, and you don't get that when you're a single parent. Or at least you don't get that when you're the only parent. And the kicker is that you can never fully lean into your maternal energy because you're always shape-shifting from masculine to feminine because you have to give tough love too. And sometimes I don't want to be the bad guy. Any major life decision, any parenting decision is made completely on your own. And you will spend 50% of the time wondering if it was the right call and not having anyone to be like, yes, babe, that was right. Or you're not crazy. Or I back you on that. Not to mention realizing that literally 90% of the memories that I make with my son, I'm the only one who will remember, and I have no one to share them with because kids don't remember stuff. And I know I'm a good mom, but I just know it's not.
You tell the world what happened to you. What happened to you? I don't know. You need to tell them.
You're not supposed to be a single parent, only parent, or whatever type of vernacular you want to use. You're not supposed to do it by yourself. You're supposed to be in a family with a man that is the father to those kids, that is supposed to be the masculine man in the household. The woman is not supposed to be masculine. I don't know why women are having a hard time understanding this. Now, okay, let's go ahead and let's play devil's advocate. They don't want to be masculine, but they have to be masculine because they're single moms. Well, that is a decision that these single moms have made. I do not have any pity whenever a mom sits in her front seat and she is begging and complaining and sobbing and crying about how hard it is to be a single mom, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're still letting dudes smash. You're still not learning anything. You are putting yourself ahead of your kids, which I think is the worst thing you can do as a parent. And ultimately, the kids are going to suffer for it. The kids are going to suffer because they're being raised. They're only being partially raised, in my opinion. They're not getting a complete, balanced household experience. Being raised by a single mom. This mom, she said it herself, she's distracted. She's masculine. She's having to do all these other things. She's not able to slip into that maternal mindset, that feminine role, because she's doing all these other things. Well, that was your decision, and maybe you should have thought about that before you put yourself into that position, because actions have consequences. Okay, now I'm not sure what happened with the baby's dad. I'm sure it could, a lot of times it's something that the woman does in a relationship. A lot of times men do not run from their kids. They do not run from their families. They are usually pushed out by the women. So, and in very rare cases does a man run away. I mean, it does happen. Don't get me wrong. It does happen. But recently what I found out is that a lot of men try their hardest to stick around and to try to be there for the kids and to be there and be that masculine role model, but the women just do not allow it. And then you have them sitting in their front seat complaining about all this. Well, you know what? Nobody cares.
My biggest fear with raising sons as a single mom is that they're possibly going to grow up and think that the women in their generation shouldn't complain about being a single mother because they watched me do it. You see, a single mother is going to create one of two men. You're either going to create a man that watched his mother struggle so he would never put another woman through that, or you're going to create a man that watched his mother struggle but get it done and think that that's normal. Like, oh, well, my mom did it, so it's okay. I don't want them to have that mentality just because they watched me do it. You see, I don't complain to them about being a single mother because I don't want them to think it was terrible raising them. So I'm like a little conflicted because I also don't want them to grow up and think, well, my mom was a single mom, so other moms should do it. Why are you complaining about being a single mom? My mom did it with 5 kids. Like, it would break my heart to hear my son say that as an adult.
This is something else.
Well, let me go ahead and just break this down for you here, because any man with common sense, with half of a brain cell, can look at a single mom situation and say, you know what, that's not how it should be. Single moms should not exist. Okay, it's not good for them. It's not good for the kid. It is, and it just compounds. The more kids they have, the issues compound. Okay, so in my opinion, I think she's 100% wrong here. There's not going to be two different thoughts with this. It's going to be one thought, which is single moms shouldn't exist, and they are either going to as they become an adult, they're either going to look at single moms as something that can be, pumped and dumped, discarded. It's whatever. They're really not worth much. Or B, they're going to be thinking of single moms as someone that they 100% need to avoid because their mom was a single mom and they've seen all the trauma she went through, and these men don't want anything to do with women like that. Hope that helps. Let's continue.
Because it's hard. It's not easy. And I don't know why single motherhood is being normalized. I'm not a single mom because I wanted to be a single mom. I'm a single mom because I don't have a choice. The father got mad at me when the relationship ended and decided when the relationship ended, that meant I don't have to be a father anymore. But I chose to stay and handle my responsibilities as a mother. Fathers really need to do better. All that putting the blame on the woman because she's the one that stayed and he's the one that up and left just because the relationship ended is crazy. Oh, well, you should have picked a better father. No, they were great fathers while they had access to me. It's when I cut the access to me that they became terrible fathers. So why is it I should have picked better instead of they need to man up and handle their responsibilities as men because these are their offsprings? The relationship with me should not determine the relationship with your child, especially when I don't make it hard for you to be.
Oh shit.
And this is the age-old question, and you'll see a lot of women in the replies saying, "Oh, well, men always say choose better, and he didn't show his true colors until I started spreading my legs for him." These women find out everything way after the fact. They don't realize that that's what courting used to do. That's what dating used to be. Dating wasn't something that you met a guy online, you met him behind a dumpster, and then he pounded it down, and then he put a bun in the oven, and then all of a sudden you're a single mom. That's not how dating used to be. Okay, dating was a process, a very long process where you would get to know someone, you get to know their intentions, you get to know who they really are, what they're about. A lot of times women wouldn't even engage in nighttime activities till way later. If you were more traditional than this, you would never be in this situation. Okay, if you were possibly better at picking dudes that would stick around longer than the first trimester of your pregnancy, then maybe you wouldn't be in the situation you are right now. Okay, so you picked a guy that you knew you couldn't keep. He busted it down because that's what dudes do. You got pregnant and you decided, okay, well, I'm gonna have to be a single mom now. I mean, those were all your decisions that you made. I'm not sure why anyone should feel sorry for a situation you put yourself in. She's saying things like fathers should really do better. Why did you decide to make this man a father? That's my question. Why did you decide that he was worthy enough to give him the most treasured thing you can give a man, which is access to fatherhood? I do not understand this. But you know what? These mistakes will keep getting made over and over again. There's no doubt about that. But before these mistakes are made, the first thing that needs to happen is you need to meet someone, right? You need to find someone and you need to start dating this person. In my opinion, the dating process is a very long process, okay, that has several steps that need to be taken so you can vet some of these people that you're inviting into your life, because I mean, that's what you're doing. You're inviting a person into your life and into some of the most intimate places in your life. And it's a big decision. So let's go over this story here. It's really quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you my advice on this piece. This comes from Dating Advice. New girlfriend thinks I can afford fancy restaurants on each date. A few months ago, I went on a date with this girl. We ended up at a pretty fancy restaurant. I wanted to make a good impression, but now I think she believes I can afford to go to places like that all the time. Since then, whenever we make plans, she's suggesting high-end spots and is starting to feel like I'm digging into my savings just to keep up with her expectations. I did win about $900 on a bet recently, which helped cover some of those dates, but I'm starting to wonder if I need to have a conversation about balancing expectations. I mean, I don't mind splurging now and then, but I can't keep pretending like fancy dinners are my regular thing. Would love advice on how to approach this without making it awkward. You two can go ahead and part ways, okay? Because you know what she was in it for. Any woman worth dating will completely understand and will possibly say something like, oh yeah, that's fine, let's just go to Arby's. Yeah, just take it to Arby's. But that is my little piece of advice for today. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for staying till the end. I really do appreciate that, you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.